What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We got a special treat for you guys today. The second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home dropped, I think it was yesterday, or was it today?
Yeah, last night.
Last night.
Yep.
I have yet to see it. My friend here, Max, has seen it. I've heard
Yes,
nothing but hype coming from Twitter, from all the social medias about this trailer, showing that it revealed a lot. I'm pretty excited about this. There is a large gap in my knowledge about Spider-Man, and that is the whole Venom series. I've just not watched any of them. They don't appeal to me. I don't know why. I just don't care for them.
You haven't watched any of them?
I haven't watched a single Venom movie. Not a single one in the history of the world. So if there's anything about that, she will be able to fill me in. But other than that, I'm pretty excited to dive into this. This is supposed to be some sort of a multiverse Spider-Man. There's talks about us seeing the different Spider-Mans throughout history, about us seeing some old villains and stuff like that. So hopefully this trailer reveals a whole lot more. Max, I'm sure, already knows all the details and is chomping at the bit to watch me watch this trailer right now. So yeah.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Without further ado, let's jump into this trailer, everyone. I'm hyped. We are at the 0-second mark on the IGN trailer. Max, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, let's start the trailer in 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa. Okay, it was just
it was a lot.
Beginning part.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Man, that's dark. That was a different look for Tom Holland.
My life has felt normal.
Yeah, it's this isn't going to be a happy movie.
I'm here for it. Got hit by that train.
Columbia.
We wanted everyone to forget the Peter Parker Spider-Man.
There he is, Doctor Strange.
We started getting some visitors.
Yeah, I love it. Oh god. There he is, that son of a bitch. Now, which Green Goblin is that? That's what I want to know,
man. We'll have to figure it out.
Is that,
I think it's like only
James,
a month.
Is that James Franco, or is that I knew the name before this started. I forgot the name of the old actor.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, that's right.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual
Wow,
name?
he hasn't aged a day.
There are others out there.
Doc Ock hasn't aged a day.
So, Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
this crap.
You know, all this is kind of your mess. I know
All right,
a couple magic
Zendaya.
words myself, starting with the word please.
All right, you know what? She's annoying in
off.
this movie.
Scooby-Doo.
She's annoying in this
What?
movie. That's
No.
like we got bigger
That's
issues to
fucking
deal
hilarious.
with. No, you know.
Flying out into the dark.
Oh shit! There he is. Oh, that's
do you mean?
hype.
They all die. Fighting
There's the
Spider-Man.
back claws. Love them.
Fate.
The Iron Spider's back.
Oh man, I've seen like
They're
4
not.
different suits
Don't.
in this whole trailer so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of suits in this.
There's a lot of different suits. Ooh. Okay.
There isn't.
Oh, and now
love
there's
trains.
this whole.
To our universe.
Wait, hold on.
You're not gonna take this away from
Did you see that? We'll go back to it.
Yeah, we'll go back.
Struggling to have everything you want, while the
That's.
world tries
That sounds like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Is that Sandman?
sure does.
Is that the lizard? Oh my god. That's everybody, dude. Oh shit. Wow. Is that a shield? There she goes.
Oh no.
Does she catch her? Okay, that's pretty cool.
What's happening?
Oh wait, there's more.
Starting to come through, and I can't stop him.
Oh no.
December 17th, exclusively in movie theaters. Tickets on sale November
Okay.
29th. Spider Monday.
Yeah, man.
So, all right.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
Yeah, I
but,
was literally about to say those words. There's a few things to unpack here. Where do I start? Those jokes, those little sidebars didn't hit with me. I'm just gonna say that right now.
They didn't?
I wanted it to continue the theme of seriousness, but you know they got to throw in some jokes here and there. But anyways,
Well, I mean, Zendaya's character has always been like the very snarky, like,
Yeah, I know.
well, and like that. I like that about her.
It's cool
fun.
to a point, but I feel like
get it if you don't like it.
I feel like so many movies are doing that right now, where they just have to have that young, snarky character, like that Gen Z character is going, "Okay, boomer," and it's starting to get old, but whatever. So it sounds like the Green Goblin's Willem Dafoe, which would make me very happy. Doc Ock. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to go back on, the first part. If you want to go to, let me find it real quick. It's when Doc Ock had like a stranglehold on Spider-Man. There it is. It's at about 156. If you go to 156. Oops, I messed that up.
56.
156, and then play from there. Let me make sure I didn't just break the recording. Yeah, we're good.
They're a danger to our universe.
Okay, so Doc Ock is holding on to Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And his arms start turning red.
Yeah.
Is he like taking the suit's technology or something? Is that like his new goal on how to make himself more powerful?
A lot of people were like theorizing that that's what's happening. I don't really know. That's what it looks like. But some other people are talking about how all of the multiverses are kind of colliding. Maybe like as they're colliding, these characters are changing in real time.
Ooh.
It might have something to do with Peter's suit, but it also might have to just do with the multiverse colliding in on itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But both are equally cool, and I couldn't tell you which one I'd like more. You know, to think about. They're both really cool to think about.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to pinpoint who the main antagonist in this movie might be through this trailer, because it seems like it's just, I mean, there was a point in that trailer where Doctor Strange was the antagonist. You know, I mean, it feels like the entire multiverse is against Peter Parker in this kind of instance, you know? I think that's a little interesting dynamic, that he basically has to fight everyone, and his only friends are Zendaya and the other dude. I forget the other guy's name.
Ned. His name's Ned.
Ned. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see some of the old, like the Lizard, Sandman. I forget the electric guy's name. What was his name again?
Electro.
Electro. That's all it was. Okay, I knew something goofy like that. But it's cool to see all of these bad guys just show up, and it's kind of taken us through a little bit of a nostalgia trip throughout all the movies that we've seen. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of like the main appeal of this movie. This franchise is kind of like metamorphosized into just kind of like not really being about this Peter Parker anymore. We're not everyone's showing up to see Tom Holland anymore. Like this movie, as you know, we were talking about it a little bit before this. You know, there's the threat of like having Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come back.
Yeah.
And especially because we're seeing their villains specifically played by their actors. So like we have Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro, and then you can't really tell who Lizard Man is, but like you could tell. It's probably safe to assume that that's Gwen Stacy's dad. Well, actually, no, it wasn't Gwen Stacy's dad. It was a scientist or whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, something.
But they're very clearly picked right out of, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man and Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
And you know, you're seeing all these different types of suits, and from what I remember, the only time I saw Tom Holland's face is when he was in the regular suit. Every other suit was pretty much closed up and had the mask on when it was being depicted and shown, from what I saw. So I don't know if they're sneaking that in there, and that's actually maybe one of the other Spider-Men. I don't know. I think that's interesting.
So one thing that like is probably going to be very big, like, you know, tell is exactly how the spider suits look. So like, whenever we see all these new ones, we can probably safely assume that these are all still just Tom Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Because narratively speaking, it wouldn't really make sense for the audience to see a new or an old Spider-Man in a new suit. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It would make
Yeah.
more sense thematically and just like nostalgic wise to keep with what they were wearing in their respective movies. That way we can delineate which Spider-Men are which whenever they're all on the screen.
Yeah.
I think all of the shots of the new suits, I think those are all still Tom Holland. But
They all look like pretty modern suits, like with the nanotechnology and all that stuff. Yeah.
But the fun thing is that with digital editing, you can just crop a character out of a frame,
Right.
and replace it, especially with these sweeping images, like the one that I'm on right now. It's very blurred, and you can't really tell who it is. So like, it would be very easy for them to just like.
Are you
switch
talking
that out
about
with,
the Green Goblin? Because I just remembered there was a little part where I think it's right here at 210. I believe right after 210, where the Green Goblin is coming down and he does not have his mask on. Let me replay it.
That's
real
another.
quick. Let me replay it real quick so I can look at it. There he is. Oh, I missed it. Let me go back again. It's very, very fast. Yeah, and it's just a straight blur. But from what I see, they got the goggles on. It looks like long black hair. That's what's it looks longer than usual though, from what I saw in the frames.
Yeah. So for the Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe's character, which is Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
He only wears that other suit with the green actual like goblin face. What we're seeing here is more reminiscent of the Hobgoblin outfit that Harry wore in The Amazing Spider-Man.
So you think we might see both of them maybe at some point in this
It's
film?
a possibility. It's a possibility. Or other people are talking about how in other continuities in the comic books, Ned, his Spider-Man's best friend, or Peter Parker's best friend in this continuity, in other storylines in the comic books, Ned actually ends up becoming the Hobgoblin. So like this might be an alternate universe version of Ned who ended up becoming the Hobgoblin.
There's so many doors right now that can be opened with this.
It's absolutely crazy.
And I guess you continue if you have more points to make.
Oh no, I was just gonna say if you haven't seen all of the movies, or if you haven't like watched them in a long time, you don't really need to see the Venom movies because like those are a little more self-contained until recently.
Yeah.
But like the Sam Raimi movies and then the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like they don't connect to each other, but like if you want to get any kind of like really like boost of nostalgia, you're probably gonna want to try and rewatch these movies to just kind of like hype yourself up about it, you know?
Yeah. And then I guess we can speculate a little bit. One thing I wanted to ask you, I mean, this seems like, an Avengers Endgame level type of movie for the Spider-Man series. This is the Super Bowl, the WrestleMania for Spider-Man. I mean, this shit's hitting the fan. Where do you think Spider-Man goes from here? Do you think this branches off into multiple different story arcs? Do you think they just continue with the Tom Holland line of Spider-Man and he leaves this behind him and continues on his merry way? Like, where do you think they go with this whole series after this movie? Because I think they're just going to try and milk as much money out of it. That's just my cynicism coming through, and make a bunch of branching arcs. But what do you think?
Based off of like rewatching this and like kind of like taking in a lot of information that like Tom Holland has said in a lot of his interviews and like press releases, because he was actually he actually went to a lot of the screenings of this trailer. And he let slip a few things, and
really,
one that really stuck out was that like this feels like the end of the franchise. For Tom Holland's characterization of Spider-Man. What I think is going to happen is that we're going to get this big giant culmination in Multiverse of Madness. And then once the Doctor Strange movie is done, Everything's going to go back to normal. But Spider-Man's not going to be in the MCU anymore. I think Spider-Man's going to go back into Sony's little
You
world.
think
with
Sony's
Venom.
gonna bring it back and not bring them together?
Yeah, because it just the way, and also the name of the movie, No Way Home.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of makes me feel like this Spider-Man, things are going way too off the rails here, and he's not going to be able to keep everyone safe, especially MJ. So like, I think he's going to get stuck on the other side with Venom, and then they're going to go off and do their own. They're going to milk that cow with, you know, Spider-Man and Venom in that universe.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll come back in later installments in MCU. But I think Sony's probably going to try and get the reins back on Spider-Man, because a lot of people, myself included, don't really view Spider-Man right now as a Sony property.
Right.
It's so enriched in like what's actually happening in the MCU that like it's really hard for like regular audience, the regular audience to like delineate. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was gonna say is like, yeah, Sony, I could see why they want to hold on to the IP and not let it go. It's a cash cow. It really is.
Absolutely.
With video games,
he's the number one superhero.
Yeah. But I want to know how Marvel Studios feels about it. You know, because I feel like Sony kind of gave over in quotes Spider-Man to the MCU because of pressure from both the fan base and Marvel Studios, obviously, because Marvel Studios is ultimately the big owner of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to imagine Marvel Studios just going up. Yep, Spider-Man's gone. We're not going to mention him anymore. I feel like there might be a fight if that ever happens. I mean, I really do, because like you said, the last 5 years or so, Spider-Man has gone from being, you know, the Tobey Maguire 3, you know, years and years ago movies and a few old video games to what we know as of now, this massive part of the MCU that has so many important parts within the Avengers and within other MCU movies. I mean, it would just be insane to me for them to, because you got to think, when they lose the IP to Sony, that means it's done. You can't mention them anymore. Like, there's no more mention of Spider-Man. It's their IP. I cannot imagine that happening. I feel like there would be either a fight, or Marvel would just try and flex on Sony to say, hey, you got to at least give us some sort of a thread here.
Yeah. Whenever you talk about mentioning, so like most Marvel movies post Endgame, they don't try to shoehorn other characters in,
right?
Unless it's like a post credit scene that like specifically deals with them. So like you have Shang-Chi, and then you had Eternals, and then Black Widow. I mean, obviously Black Widow's not going to say anything about Spider-Man because it was a prequel. But I think Marvel's trying to get back into making their standalone projects inside of the Marvel universe. They're trying to like rebuild again what they started with, like Iron Man and Hulk and Thor.
Right.
Where these movies had like thin connective tissue, but like on the whole they were their own thing. And you know, at the end of the day, a contract's a contract. When the contract's up, you know, if both parties can't come to a decision about, you know, playing nice, then, you know, whoever owns the IP is going to retain rights.
Right. Yeah.
I think they'll still try to play nice, like sometime down the future. It's just, for me, it seems like maybe once Multiverse of Madness gets resolved, we probably won't see a whole lot of Spider-Man for a little while. It's coming out of Marvel, at least.
It'll be a calming, and I think any subsequent movie is definitely going to be much more toned down than what we're about to see or what we have seen, especially if it's going back to being a full Sony project. You know, Sony, this kind of feels like it's out of Sony's wheelhouse. I mean, this has a lot of influence, obviously, from Marvel Studios. Like, we need to make this big and crazy and grand. You know what I mean? This is not Sony's style. with this type of a movie. So
and it also just kind of feels like maybe Sony was just trying to use Marvel as a, you know, a jump off point to really get back into the you know, the people's hearts about Spider-Man movies, because I love Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies. I love Andrew Garfield's movies. But like, for some reason, they didn't hit with the, you know, the entire audience of people that wanted to watch them.
Yeah, they had to break through that Spider-Man is Tobey Maguire thing. You know what I mean? And they kind of led that path of, because I mean, I remember growing up, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Even in my heart, like when I think of Spider-Man,
even in the video games,
I think of Tobey Maguire. I really do. More so, I'm starting to think of Tom Holland just because he's done it so well, and he's been a part of a lot of other projects, like you were saying, in the MCU. But I think those two definitely had to break through that wall for Tom Holland to really succeed. You know, so I think they kind of paved the way for him in a respect.
But at the end of the day, it's all fucking speculation. And like, hell, there might not be a Tobey Maguire or an Andrew Garfield anywhere in this fucking movie.
Could be nobody.
I'm fairly certain there is, because there's a Brazilian trailer that came out at the same time. Yeah, and they didn't cut it correctly. So like, you know that part where like Sandman, Electro, and the Lizard, they're all like flying at Tom Holland. It cut off in this one, but in the Brazilian version, it goes on a little bit longer, and you can see an invisible kick happen at Lizard. Like he gets fucking rocked hard by a kick, and there's nobody there.
So it was like they were cut out?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Like you can literally just fucking, because this is all CGI, you know, you can just fucking edit that person out, because that's not a real person. It's not computer generated graphics. Right. So they cut him out so that like you know, people would actually be surprised whenever they saw all the Spider-Man there. But that one trailer didn't cut it right, so like you can actually see
why I feel like, how do they cut trailers differently in different languages? I feel like they would all just send them the same reel and be like, hey, dub over this with your language, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, it seems like a pretty big oversight. You'd think that Disney would just be like, oh, hey, here's the master cut, don't deviate. But apparently that's not how things work.
Oh man, what a mess. I can't wait to see that scene now, though. To see if that's actually what happened.
But yeah, I know this trailer didn't really tell you that there's going to be more Spider-Mans, but like it's pretty much been all but confirmed. With that trailer leak. So
yeah, because I mean, I'm super excited about the villains, but different Spider-Man, that would be a whole different ball game with me. If I saw Tobey Maguire again, oh my god, I don't even know what I'd do with myself. Any final thoughts?
I'm hyped. I can't wait for December 17th to get here. I want it to be tomorrow. Actually, I'd love for it to be right now and to just go watch it. But unfortunately, time is a prison.
Yeah, exactly. I'm very excited for this. Hopefully we get another trailer before it comes out. I mean, honestly, I think we've seen what we had to see so far. I mean, I don't think they need to show us anymore if I was them, but I would love to see something else.
Honestly, they've shown us too much.
Yeah, they've shown us a lot. But, you know,
very spoiled at the moment.
Yeah, we love being spoiled. You know, but with that said, we're excited for this movie, and to everyone out there watching on the channel, really appreciate you guys showing up. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Me and Max love making these. We love talking about movies, video games, whatever you guys want us to talk about. So we're looking forward to Spider-Man No Way Home, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all. Take it easy now.
Peace.